Okay, guys, so I just thought I'd walk you through an automation that I built today and completely, for whatever reason, didn't think to record it, but I think I'd actually just rebuild it for you now very quickly. This is, of course, like a real world application um, where on my OnlyFans course, we have two versions of the course. We have the original version that I recorded about a year ago that is hosted on Gumroad. And then we have version 2 that is hosted on Kajabi, the updated version. And I like to process the payments through Gumroad because they're quite open to what you're able to sell on Gumroad. They're happy for me to sell an OnlyFans agency course, whereas Stripe are quite picky about anything related to the adult niche. So unfortunately, we were kicked off of Stripe. So what I currently do is I take the payments on Gumroad and then I have to invite that same user over on Kajabi. And this is a good demonstration of where I will use Integromat and Zapier. So I just want to walk you through exactly how that is done. So simply, we have a Gumroad webhook that triggers whenever a new sale comes in. And I have a filter here that the price contains $4.99, meaning it's a sale of the OnlyFans course because there's a few different products for sale on the website. And then simply we're doing an API request that sends over to a Zapier webhook, the email and the full name. And then if we come over into Zapier, we catch the hook here, and then we grant access to an offer within Kajabi, at which point an email is automatically sent via Kajabi straight over to the new customer that is giving them access to the new tool, to the new course in Kajabi. And previously, this was like a process that was done manually by my admin. He would manually have to talk to the customer, get the email, and it was just kind of like a bad onboarding experience. This was like a very, very simple automation and kind of like a perfect example where this very seamlessly integrates with Zapier. And the reason that I used Zapier is because on Kajabi doesn't exist on Integromat. And Kajabi was one of like the slightly more annoying APIs. So it's just much, much faster to do it this way. And again, like I mentioned before, because it's not, I'm not processing like super high volumes of course sales. I probably get about 2 per day, 60 per month. It's not going to break the bank in terms of Zapier credits. That was a reason for doing that. You can also, by the way, have they removed it? Here, no, they haven't. Sorry, it's here. Send data to Zapier. So yeah, you would just simply put in the webhook URL and you can add in the values here. So you may have noticed by now, but a lot of Integromat is essentially the same things, kind of just repackaged to make it seem like this is a direct integration with Zapier, whereas all it is an HTTP request with just a slightly simplified interface and less flexibility. Like they're literally asking for a Zapier webhook URL. So yeah. And then finally, just one other interesting part of this automation, which I can introduce you to now, is if you haven't, you can use the Integromat. Sorry, it's the Make app. It's not going to want to focus. You can use the Make app, which I use for like quite a few different scenarios, in fact, and I have done before. For example, if we wanted to sync our contacts, whenever I add a new contact in my phone, we can automatically sync that over to Integromat. We can sync my calendar, photos. Whenever I have a new photo, we could sync that over to Google Drive if we wanted to. These are all simple automations we could build. Some of the more interesting ones, though, GPS areas. So we can set like a geofencing, I believe it's called. Geofenced area that when I enter a particular location, perhaps it triggers something on Integromat quite an interesting trigger to have, in my opinion. And then we can also have notifications. So, and that is exactly what I've done here. So when, once this successfully takes place and when this runs, I just get a trigger. I get a notification on my iPhone, user invited on Zapier, we invited this email, just so I know it's taken place. So when I get an email that there's been a new course sale, I should almost 1 minute after get a notification that that user has also been invited via Zapier, just to let me know that that whole process has gone smoothly. So yeah, this I think this automation is so simple that it's not even needed to rebuild it. But this is like a perfect use case of when I mentioned that I use Zapier as well, but only in kind of specific things. This really fits that criteria. So I just thought I would share it with you.